So it is at long last the Super 4 time of the Asia Cup, and what many on social media are rather unkindly referring to as the final of the Asia Cup,
For
considering for everyone, considering all of the rest of the games are going to be played in Colombo, where the rain threat is, to put it politely, pretty massive. So anyway, we are in the Super Fours. The first match is going to be Pakistan versus Bangladesh, and this match, in many ways, people, there is obviously a bit of political history to it as well. But it is one match that Pakistan have by and large dominated. However, I would say Bangladesh have done reasonably well to even get to this point.
Oh yeah, definitely. But this match starting from today, I think there's going to be a lot of concerns for Bangladesh since Najmul Shanto has been ruled out, and he's been their top performer for I think this whole year. In 2023,
Him and Mehdi Hassan have been their best
He's the
batters.
leading run scorer for Bangladesh in 2023 in Asia Cup as well. So that's going to be a big blow for Najmul Shanto and Bangladesh as well, since he's been ruled out because of a hamstring injury, and they're trying to preserve him for the World Cup, which is also very close at this moment.
Which kind of makes sense. I mean, you don't want to be risking anyone on the Asia Cup when you know.
Of course.
And of course, a good advantage is that Litton is back for them.
Exactly.
So that is one good thing. But of course, I think this Bangladesh side would look a lot stronger if you had Litton, Najmul Hussain Shanto, and then of course Mehdi Hassan Miraz, along with Mushfiqur Rahim and Shakib in that batting order. Would have looked a lot more potent. But nevertheless, these are the cards that they have been dealt. And just a bit of a toss update: Bangladesh have won the toss and opted to bat first.
The match is at?
The match is at Lahore, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is in Lahore.
A batting paradise?
I mean, it's a Pakistani pitch. What are you expecting?
So they've decided to bat first,
which
so
again
that's great.
Yeah, it's the right decision. I mean, most teams have in fact looked to bat first in this tournament, which of course, in ODI cricket more often than not.
The match that India lost.
Lost or
no
it was
result,
a no result.
No result.
Let's not rule that as a loss, much as it may have felt like one, because you lost a lot of time as well due to rain. So I think most teams are actually opting to bat, and to be fair, makes sense in conditions like these where Lahore also tends to get a little bit more. Let's say assistance with under the lights. That's probably the only hope you have. Otherwise, those pitches stay flat, and we know that more often than not, it's easy to score plenty of runs. I mean, you saw what I think what Bangladesh's match. What am I saying? I think it was Afghanistan's match, but that wasn't in this thing either. That was in Palakele. No, it wasn't in Palakele. Was that in this thing? Where was it? It was in Lahore only. There we go.
But also talking about Pakistan, they've been performing so well, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, Pakistan have been incredible, and don't forget, home advantage does in fact give them, a little bit of a boost. Hopefully, there'll be a lot more people in the stadiums that we've been seeing recently. I mean, yesterday, and truth be told, even in some of the Sri Lanka matches, I was a little disappointed with the kind of turnout you were getting. But of course, this is going to be the last match of the Asia Cup that's going to be held in Pakistan. So you hope to see some good fans there, at least in the evening, cheering their team on, especially now when you consider the fact that Pakistan will be batting in the evening, which means... you might very well be seeing. I don't think dew has been much of a factor. It's it's not the dew thing. It's the fact that fans will be there to see their batters, which is a good thing. But of course, if you're talking about Bangladesh having been quietly impressive, we know Pakistan's biggest strength at this point has been their bowling.
Of course, and it has been like that for quite a while now. We've seen what Shaheen has been doing for so long in the Nepal match, and in the match after that as well. Shaheen is Pakistan's biggest strength at this moment,
Absolutely.
I think. And when we talk about the other bowlers, Haris Rauf, we have Naseem Shah. They've been, quite lethal, and we're all, I think, waiting for Sunday when we get to see them,
When we get to see the first real India-Pakistan match, I'm not counting that first one. It was washed out.
That was not a real match.
It was not a real match.
But anyway, we've, today with Bangladesh's batting lineup, Litton Das is coming back, and now Pakistan's bowling lineup that's been their biggest strength. It's going to be a good battle.
Yeah, I'd love to see, how someone like a Mehdi Hassan, Litton Das, how is it that they will be faring against, probably the strongest bowling lineups, or one of the strongest bowling lineups, not just in the world, but definitely in this Asia Cup as well. We know Shaheen, even though on occasion has been spraying it around a little bit, but when they land, they do land nicely. He was very, very good against India, very, very good against Nepal. Haris Rauf also, I mean, we know that, he does tend to, crank it up nicely, 150 plus, easy. Yes, that means it can be expensive, but there's no substitute for genuine pace. And Naseem is so dangerous. He can get the ball to move both ways, tends to get reverse swing as well. So I mean, it's definitely one of those people who tends to one of those bowling lineups which can strike plenty of fear. And I think their spinners are kind of underrated as well. Yes, Nawaz and Shalab. Shalab had a good match against Nepal. Hasn't quite come to the party thereafter, but of course, against India he was kind of taken apart a little bit. Him and Nawaz. But I think that's going to be a key battle as well, because I think knowing how the Bangladesh batters are, they will look to kind of attack the spinners, which could also present a wicket-taking opportunity.
Absolutely. And to take a question this time, Sarat Chandra Yalamati is asking about the weather in Colombo. Quite interestingly, I was talking to someone who is in Sri Lanka right now, who is in Colombo, and based like 15 minutes away from the team hotel, and it is pouring in Colombo at the moment. So I don't think that's a good sign. It had been raining for so long anyway, right? Colombo was one of the venues that was ruled out because it was raining so much.
In fact,
and now we're having the final over there.
Not just the final, all the Super 4 matches. In fact, how it was meant to be earlier on was that the Sri Lanka leg was meant to be held exclusively in Colombo.
Exactly.
But then they knew that the rains would be so bad at that point that they moved it to Palakkale, which is supposed to be in some rain shadow area for whatever reason. It actually, the driest place that you normally get in Sri Lanka is Hambantota. But for one reason or the other, that ground has been given a pass constantly. Dambula is another, but Dambula is just not prepared for international cricket. We know that reason. Actually, Hambantota, I mean, we did in fact give you that report that Hambantota had been considered, for that venue. It was supposed to be that it was going to be shifted out of Colombo and brought to Hambantota, but then some political wranglings behind the scene meant that they've stayed in Colombo, which I think is a bad decision. But I mean, I'm not really the one in control of these things, so what really do I know?
We don't know any of that, but since we are talking about it, I think it's going to be quite concerning that the matches are being held at Colombo at this moment, considering the fact that it's raining so much already.
Exactly.
But let's wait and see what happens.
So we have the playing 11s for you. So Bangladesh and Pakistan both are out. Bangladesh have Mohammad Naeem opening. Of course, Mehdi Hassan has been put in as the opener. That's interesting. I would like to see if they actually do that, or is just how they wrote it on the team sheet. Litton Das at 3, Tawid Hridoy at 4, Shakib Al Hassan at 5, Mushfiqur Rahim at 6, Shamim Hussain and Afif Hussain at 7 and 8. Then you've got, of course, Taskin Ahmed, Shariful Islam and Hassan Mahmood, which is pretty much the same team they were going with. The only change really is that Litton Das comes in for Najmal Hussain Shanto. I think if Najmal wasn't fit, then Mohammad Naeem, who's the other opener, would probably be the one making way for Litton. But unfortunately, Shanto also in fact got injured here, so that can't be helped. Pakistan, they're playing 11. Well, seems pretty settled to me. It's again the usual: Fakhar Zaman, Imamul Haq, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, Aga Salman, Iftikhar Ahmed, Shadab Khan. No, Fahim Ashraf gets a start. Very, very interesting. So Fahim Ashraf has come in place of, if I'm not wrong, Mohammad Nawaz. Yes. So Fahim Ashraf, Shaheen Afridi, Naseem Shah and Haris Rauf. That is the playing 11. And I'll also quickly go for the reasons or what it is that the captains of that Shakib has said that they're looking to bat first, because there's no particular reason other than the heat. That's interesting. I mean, you want to actually tire out the Pakistan fielders, which makes perfect sense. And he's saying that if we can put runs on the board, we can put pressure on Pakistan. We want to continue performing the way we played against Afghanistan. We want to stay at our best, not worried about the opposition. And as he mentioned, Shanto is not playing and Litton Das is the replacement. Babar Azam, by the way, is in fact, on the cusp of a very special milestone. He is 1 century away now from equaling the century count of a certain Saeed Anwar. So big match potentially coming for Babar, and he said his comments were that, look, we'd have batted first as well. There's a bit of grass on the pitch though. We'll try to use that, and we're used to the heat, so it doesn't really matter. And by the way, see, that's the thing. He's saying last night in yesterday's game, we saw that there was a bit of help for fast bowlers, and that's why we have an extra fast bowler. So that is why Fahim Ashraf comes in place of Mohammad Nawaz. Mohammad Nawaz. Yeah, I got confused with him and Rizwan.
Yeah, I think it's a great decision from Pakistan to have an extra pacer, because we've seen what Lahore can do, and this is a great advantage for Pakistan because they know the conditions and it is home ground. So if they do not make the best of these conditions at the moment, it's going to be quite
surprising. Very, very surprising. In fact, he does make a good point, Babar, because yesterday the spinners really were taking a bit of a hammering. Most of the wickets were going the way of the pacers. So, I mean, even Rashid, for all the talk of him actually getting 2 wickets, was very, very expensive. Absolutely taken to the cleaners. Mujib and Nabi weren't that much better. And even from Sri Lanka's side, I mean, they knew that 37.1 this thing. So what they did was they bowled out Patarana beforehand. So, what they did thereafter was that, look, they knew that all they were focusing on was the 37.1 mark. So they said, no, we're going to front load. That's why the last over was being bowled by, if I'm not wrong, it was Dhananjaya De Silva.
Yeah.
That's why. So I think, it makes sense for Pakistan that they're going in with another all-round and a pace bowling all-rounder at that. So very, very interesting. 4 pacers potentially are going to be bowling here. So, I'm really looking forward to this. Should be a good match. Let's see.
If it's anything close to what happened yesterday, it's going to be a quite
I
match.
don't think that's going to happen. I think for me that match so far has been the match of the Asia Cup.
Thriller.
Oh my god.
The biggest thriller, not most thriller.
Most thriller.
Most thrilling is what I want to say. But what a match yesterday, and what a heartbreak for Afghanistan as well. Now to think of it, since Jonathan Trott has come out and said that he wasn't aware of all the calculations that were supposed to be made.
I blame the Afghanistan team management for that.
Yeah. But to think that if the players had known,
they would have gone for it.
They would have gone for it, and they could have easily gotten.
Yeah, they needed 6 runs of 3 balls thereafter. So then the target moves from, rather than 292, it moved to 295. But then you had Fazal Faruqi defending a full toss.
Yeah,
what are you doing? Hit a run, take a single, do anything. Why are you doing
defending 2 balls and then going LBW?
And the first of which was a full toss. That was just terrible. There's no justification because I'll explain why. So the thing is that the playing conditions when it comes to net run rate are actually available just like they are in the case of the Duckworth-Lewis system. What happens with Duckworth-Lewis turn is that more often than not the umpires will just hand out the sheet because rain is such a pervasive thing, or you'll even get to know about it on the screens. What tends to happen, however, when it comes to net run rate, because again, net run rate is something that only comes into play during a tournament. During a bilateral, net run rate doesn't matter, right? Because it's only 2 teams, so whoever wins, loses, that's the only important thing. Here though, the team management has to ask the umpires. So Afghanistan didn't actually ask. So they just assumed. The only thing they knew, because it was very public knowledge, 37.1. If they had to ask, then they would have known that even after
they had more runs, more balls to
and score more runs, because the target was 292. So they didn't need to get 3 runs at that point. Then they needed to get 6 runs in 3 balls. So basically,
that could have happened.
It could have happened. Fazal just had to hit one
single.
Take 1 single, then let Rashid hit a 6. It was done. And I don't know.
By the way, that video is up on Sports Today.
Yes, check
if
it
you
out.
want to, I explained what the calculations exactly were that could have gotten Afghanistan over the line. So check out that video as well.
So let's take a few questions. Fahad asking what are Bangladesh's chances to win? If they actually put in a good batting show. I think they do have the bowling, especially the spinners. But again, let's see, they've gone with, they have 2 or 3 spinners there. I think the pace bowlers will need to step up. That's been their major Achilles heel. Again, they've not had Ibadat, which has kind of hampered them significantly. Been a lot of load on someone like a Tuscan.
Exactly.
But I think they need to get a big total. I think if they get anything like 290, 300, could be defendable. But let's see.
And also the fact that now they've got a sort of, wounded batting lineup since Najmul is out, but Litton Das is also coming after an injury. It's a viral fever, so that does affect your
stamina
strength
and
all of that. So let's see what happens with that as well.
Exactly. I think there were a couple more questions. Let me just take a look. You have Dex giving a prediction. He's saying that Bangladesh will unmercifully destroy Pakistan. That is one big prediction. One very big prediction. Let's see. Shubham Sharma says that India needs game time on the field rather than PlayStation because of rain. Agree with you, Shubham, but it does seem like we're in for some, plentiful, let's say, problems when it comes to rain issues. If we have 1-2 more comments we can take. Yes, Sarat Chandra Mehdi did in fact hit a century, and he's been phenomenal in recent times, not just with the bat but even with the ball. He's been very, very good as a spin bowling all-rounder in the
Shubham
middle.
Sharma is saying... Shubham Sharma is Sharma.
Can't India cancel? There's 2 Shubhams. Okay, so Shubham Sharma first, then Shukla says...
Can't India cancel Asia Cup and play ODI series with Afghanistan? I don't think that's possible.
That wouldn't be possible, but that would be something if that happens. I wouldn't mind seeing some ODI series against this Afghanistan team. Shubham Shukla says that in Colombo, all of the matches there's been rain predictions, and that's what we were saying. I remember I did one video also where I mentioned it. Siddharth did a whole weather thing. So there is a lot of rain, and I quite frankly am very stunned that they've chosen to actually stick with this venue. But hey, unless something major changes, I don't see it changing now. It's already been confirmed by the ACC, in fact, that Colombo will in fact be the this thing. So Meet Sony, thank you very much for your wishes. We hit the 200k mark yesterday. Hopefully, we'll keep growing. And let's see, as Rahul was saying, target 300K before and around the time when the World Cup is there. Let's see if that can happen.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Senath Sudisha is saying Colombo or Hambantota is in final. Colombo has
No,
been
Senath, it
finalized.
has in fact been confirmed that Colombo is the venue. The ACC has confirmed that, so that is okay. Dex
Some
with a Formula
F1
One
action
question.
here.
We'll just end with that one.
Yeah.
Because he's saying Christian gets a lot of credit for RBR's domination, but two men who really made the difference are Newey and Helmut Marko. Wholeheartedly agree. Big,
And Max Verstappen, don't
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
that man is something else.
Exactly. So just quickly predict, see what we can get in terms of predictions, and then
Oh.
we'll see, what happens. So what's your prediction? You go first.
Who's batting first?
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh is batting first, so I think they'll get something around 220.
What?
What?
That is low.
Okay. Let
220
me
for a
rectify
50 over
that.
match.
Yeah.
They'll lose. Okay.
Okay. Wait. 268
Okay.
and Pakistan win.
I think they'll get about 295, but
Ah.
I still do expect Pakistan to win. But let's
They
see.
don't have their top man.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Shanto.
Shanto not being there, big miss. Anyway, that's our predictions. You guys can let us know in the comments below what you feel. And of course, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tap that bell. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget,
To download the Sportstak app.
plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done. We'll be back with lots more. For now, though, from Gargi and me, it's bye-bye.